I have feelings. They're mixed. How about you?
I generally liked it. We just watched Maleficent, and I was overall impressed. I actually had seen a couple reviews on it. Well, not seen a couple, but heard a couple reviews on it before we actually saw it. So my general feeling going into it was less good than it turned out to be.
Okay. So the overall opinion is that it maybe isn't as awesome as everybody thought it was going to be, or what?
Everybody seemed to think that it was going to be kind of, I guess I wouldn't say bland, but maybe really shallow in what it was trying to get at. Maybe. I don't know. One of the big things was that if it wasn't for Angelina Jolie being in it, that the movie wouldn't have been as good as it was. Like, she carried the film.
See, I disagree. For the first half of the movie, I did not feel like I was watching Angelina Jolie as Maleficent. It was more like Maleficent as Angelina Jolie. Like, she is so iconic and so well known that I could not separate who she was far enough to accept her as Maleficent. Like, I think that I almost would have liked it better in certain instances if it had been somebody that was less well known. Because I think I could have accepted her, like, as that role.
Overall, though, I thought she did fine.
Oh yeah, I mean, by the end, I bought into it. It was cool. I mean, she did a great job. I'm not saying that she didn't do well in the role. I'm just saying that it's nothing to do with her ability as an actress, or actor, or whatever they call themselves these days. As an actor, it just has to do with her. She's just so iconic, you know? And I don't know, I think they played it up as her, like, there was so much that she was the one doing it, that it was, yeah, like, it was more Angelina Jolie and less Maleficent. I would have liked it to be more Maleficent and less Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, and that kind of speaks volumes about how she does as an actress, and she gets lost in the role, and so when you watch her, most people don't see the actress, they see the role that they're playing. You know what I mean? Like, she does a good enough job that she's not the vehicle for the movie, even though in a lot of the advertising and stuff, she is the vehicle of the movie. But for the most part, when you're actually watching her, you don't see Angelina Jolie, you see Maleficent. Like
No. I don't see Maleficent, I see Angelina Jolie, and that's the problem.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not saying it's because she doesn't do the part well, I'm just saying it's because the way they have her styled, it's just, she's just got that look, and she's just so well known as face, that all you see is Angelina Jolie. And where it's a fantasy role, and it's a character,
right,
I think that it would have been better served as the character, maybe not for the movie as a whole, but for the character, to maybe be played by someone who was less well known. Because then that would have, like, I couldn't have that suspension of disbelief, because the whole time I was going, that's Angelina Jolie, that's Angelina Jolie, that's not Maleficent, that's Angelina Jolie. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it's not that she didn't do a good job, she did a great job, it's just that's one of those pitfalls of just being a supremely well-known actor. So, but
that's kind of how I feel about oh crap, I forgot her name already. Oh crap, not Helen Mirren. She gets an Oscar every year, or she gets nominated for an Oscar every year. I don't know why I'm flaking on it.
I think I know what you're talking about. This is the lady that was in The Devil Wears Prada,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and like everything else.
Yep.
Well, I can't remember.
Helen. No.
There's not a Helen.
Anyway.
Well. Other than that, I liked it. I think that they handled the super contrived parts of the story that are just, fairy tale super contrived elements pretty well. It was just kind of like, why a spindle? Because it was right there, and how are you gonna get one? Magic.
Yeah.
Just don't worry about magic.
Yeah, and there was a big part of it. It's basically it was almost like when she cursed Aurora, she was setting it up to be that there is no other way around it. This curse is going to happen. I don't care what you say.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting because they changed it a little bit, and they made the 3 extra fairies like totally incompetent.
I always felt like they were incompetent from the cartoons.
Well, they were, but they didn't even let the one fairy have her little moment in the sun because if I remember correctly, in the cartoon, Maleficent curses her to die. And it's the 3rd fairy hasn't used her wish yet, and so she lessens it. She's like, I can't remove the curse, but I'll make it to where you won't die. You'll just fall asleep.
Right.
So I was really interested to see that they changed that.
Yeah. So that
I think to make Maleficent more human.
Right. They were trying to make her more of a sympathetic character, which she was. I mean, I think they did pretty good with keeping Maleficent as the character good in some instances, but also bad in others. Like she sort of ended up becoming more of a chaotic, neutral character by the end of it.
Yeah. I mean, I did really like what they did with the middle of the movie, where they took that whole relationship with Aurora and Maleficent. I thought that was pretty well done and really interesting. The visuals were really cool. All of the little fairy creatures and the dragon and all of that are really neat looking. I'm glad that they kept some of the standard fairy lore where, they're allergic to iron, so that was cool.
Yeah. Did they do that in the cartoon movie? Because I don't remember.
No, it never came up. There weren't enough fairies for that to really be a thing.
Right.
She was allergic to a sword in her stomach.
Yeah. I liked I liked a lot of the nods that they did to the original.
Oh, like with the one that I noticed was the costuming of the prince was very much a nod to the original.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, most of it pretty much followed. I mean, even her just stepping up to the wheel, that was almost word for word. The green power coming off Maleficent, that was pretty on the nose.
Yeah, I did like
the cake that the fairies made, the aunties made. That was right on.
Yeah, and somebody actually mentioned this as we were watching on the theater too. The one scene that they didn't put in that would have been cute was the dress scene.
The red blue. Yeah, that would have been funny, especially at the very end. They're just kind of like spoiler alert, but they could have Aurora being the queen of the fairies, and they just kind of going back and forth. Oh, I don't like her color like that. I like red. I like blue. I like red. I like blue.
Right, but they really dumbed down the 3 fairies. Like, they were incompetent, and they were like, not just were they incompetent, they were like, what's the Turncloaks? They switched sides depending on who was winning. You notice that?
Sort of.
Because it's
I think they just wanted peace, so they were just kind of like, they were the French.
Okay.
They were the French of the world. They're just like, I don't want to deal with this. I want you just be your friends. Peace, peace, peace. We surrender. Peace.
One of my favorite stylizations that they did was with the I cannot remember his name, but the bird guy.
Yeah, they really don't every time they pronounce the name, I'm like, what was that?
Yeah, it's different every time. I feel like it starts with a T. Anyway, his designs are really interesting because she turns him. He's a bird to begin with, and she turns him into a person, and then several other things. But each of the other things that she turns him into, like
has
wolf,
a little bit of a bird,
and the horse has a very.
The wolf had like bird feet, and the horse had a bird beak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And feathers.
Right, but it works. I don't know. It's just it was very neat.
Oh no, it worked fine. So overall, good movie.
Mm-hmm.
The small little pieces that I was really annoyed by was the change in accent every other minute by some of the larger characters, like King Stefan, who ends up being sort of the
kind of Scottish,
the heavily bad guy. He was the actor that played Rorschach in Watchmen, and I don't like the way he was kind of just jumping around. It seemed like his accent changed every scene we saw him in. That was really annoying. The kid actors in the beginning were really annoying because it just seemed like you have to be really good. The writing has to be really good for kid actors to work right, and they were not very good.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But other than that, it was a very enjoyable movie. I liked it, and
definitely worth a watch.
Oh yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. I don't know if I would watch it for 3D, because it would have just been really fun for the flying scenes and the dragon scene, maybe.
That's true.
But overall, pretty good. It just makes you sit there go, did I just watch something?
Things that make you go,
Mm-hmm. There's a couple points like that.